Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of focus, and that is it. Focus. So good guys. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, or maybe a cup of coffee, or as I always say, maybe something harder. Depends on what part of the planet you're on, right guys? So today we're going to be talking about a point and shoot. Normally on this channel I don't talk about point and shoots, but it's Ricoh, something different. We're always talking about Panasonic or Olympus or now OMD or Sony or Nikon or Canon or someone. So we're going to talk a little bit about Ricoh. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a discussion about, is this a camera that would be right for you and what you do? It is a point and shoot, but is it something you just slip in your pocket and you use? Also, is this a camera that you would upgrade to? Let's say you have the Ricoh GR3. This is now a Ricoh GR-IIIx. Should you upgrade? Also, should you consider this for maybe like some street photography? Once again, stick it into your shirt pocket, use it as a point and shoot instead of using that damn phone. That pretty much looks like crap when you try printing any of the images. Anyways, is this the camera for you? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get into some specs. I'm going to do some comparison contrast between the GR3 and the GR-IIIx that is now coming out and get your thoughts on it. I want to know what you think about it. What they're doing. Are they doing something positive? Are they doing something negative? Where does it all stand? So let's start out with the boring specs because we have to put them out there so you know what the hell we're talking about here, right? So this is the Ricoh GR-IIIx specs, not the GR3, the new one, 3X. Anyways, it comes with a APS-C sensor. That is a 24 megapixel CMOS sensor. The light sensitivity on this sensor is going to be from ISO 100 all the way up to 102,400. If you use it at that range, it's going to literally look like complete garbage anyways. I don't know why they even report this stuff. All cameras all the way up on their max settings are just complete crap. You know, for this camera being an APS-C camera, I'd probably say maybe 12,800 we max. I probably wouldn't even take it there. The camera also has IBIS, let's call it. It's not really called in-body image stabilization. They call it sensor shift shake reduction. I don't know, SR. Anyways, it's 3-axis. It's not 5-axis that we see in most cameras today. Now, as far as the lens in this camera, it is a fixed lens. It's not a telephoto. What you get is what you get. And what you're getting is 40 millimeters. That's the equivalent on a 35 millimeter camera. So it will do 2.8 all the way up to f/16. 2.8 is not bad on an APS-C camera. It's all right. But once again, it is a single focal length. So let's call it a prime, but in a fixed lens. Now, the body itself is magnesium alloy, which is great. The backside of it does show that it has a built-in LCD. It is a non-tilting or a fixed LCD, just like the predecessor. I don't care for those, but that's what it is. Now, it does have hybrid AF, unlike Panasonic. It does have contrast as well as phase detect AF, so the autofocus system should be pretty good, equally as good as, once again, its predecessor, the GR3. Now, it does have eye tracking, eye focus, face tracking, and whatnot, but it doesn't, of course, have animal tracking or automobile tracking or flying saucer tracking or anything like that. So it is limited to, let's say, yesteryear. Let's call it. Now, it does shoot RAW, but the RAW files are DNGs. So Adobe is obviously happy about that. So you're going to get DNGs out of it, not its own proprietary RAW. It does have a built-in ND filter, which is nice. And as far as connectivity, it does 802.11. It does Bluetooth. It does have a USB-C connection, so you can power it or use it for data transfer. Not bad. But this is normal connectivity that we would see. Now, as far as the weight, we're looking at approximately 262 grams. That is with the battery and SD card installed. It will shoot a magnificent 200 images before the battery is dead. It does capture MP4 files or AVC. Those are H.264, not H.265. And it will shoot 1080p maximum, but that will be at 60p, 30p, and 24p. It does not do 120 for slow-mo. Now, it will record for a maximum of 25 minutes before shutting off or your battery going dead. Now, it does come with 2 gigabytes of built-in storage, which is kind of odd. You don't see that very often, but this camera does have that built-in storage. Now, the price on this camera will be approximately $1,200 or 1,000 euro. All right, so it's not a cheap camera. Now, Ricoh has put out 5 development principles for their GR line. And I want to get your thoughts on it. I'm going to tell you my thoughts in just a second. So their 5 principles are: we do not compete in a number game using catalog specs. We do not install a function only because it's a fad. We do not design only to draw attention. We do not change models easily. We always challenge and propose something new. So guys, in my personal opinion, when I look at this camera, obviously I'm not hand holding it right now, but I'm looking at the specs. I'm looking at a comparison, a side-by-side comparison between the GR3 and the GR-IIIx. And it still looks like a 10-year-old camera. Not joking here, a 10-year-old camera with a fixed lens on it also. It has the exact same 24 megapixel sensor in it as the Ricoh GR3 does. It has the exact same fixed LCD panel on the back, non-tilty tilt, nothing. It also has the exact same battery life, 200 on the CIPA chart, let's say, 200 shots and then it's dead. It has the exact same video capabilities. Those were not increased in any manner. What Ricoh has done here with this camera is basically replace the 28 millimeter that we saw in the GR3 with a 40 millimeter now in the GR-IIIx. They took the name GR3 and threw an X at the end and increased the price about $300 US. So from $900 up to $1,200 and called it good. And I think their 4th principle said, we do not change models easily. Well, they completely failed on their 4th principle, 110%, in my personal opinion. I mean, this is not even iterative. It's definitely not innovative, but I don't even think this is iterative. It is literally the exact same camera with a different lens on it, and that is it. I mean, there was not a lot of thought that went into this. The camera is 3 years old, the GR3. 3 years down the road, they have done nothing, but they released this new camera. I think it's ridiculous. And I think another thing that is ridiculous is Ricoh on their promotional page has the exact same 3-year-old promotional video that they shot for the GR3.
The GR is often compared to a knife. It's not a Swiss Army knife, but a single-purpose knife.
They didn't even do a new promotional video for the GR-IIIx. I mean, that's just sad in my personal opinion, all right? That just means that they don't really care too much. They really simply don't care. For $1,200, let's call it $1,199, I don't see photographers buying this APS-C camera with limited specs, single focal distance on it, non-tilty tilt, nothing. There's not a lot going on. 3-axis instead of 5-axis stabilization. I mean, I can go on and on and on. It just doesn't make sense. There's better APS-C options out there at that price. Matter of fact, there's even better full frame options out there at that same price. I don't see it, guys. I don't see it. Maybe you guys do. I would like to know your thoughts. But when I do the side-by-side comparison and literally see next to nothing that has changed, only slapping on a letter X after the name of the previous generation camera that is 3 years old. I mean, it literally at this point feels like a 5-10-year-old camera. It almost feels like my Canon S120 or something. Literally all the way back then. I don't think a mic jack on this damn thing. I don't get it. I don't see it. I know it's not really for video. It's supposed to be for point and shoot, maybe for a street photographer or something. But even with the specs that they're giving you, for that price, there are so many better options if you want to do street photography. Something small, compact, let's say, but you can still change the lenses in comparison to just a single lens, basically a 40 millimeter. At least with yesteryear's model, the GR3. It was a 28 millimeter. You can take that wide shot, and if you want to crop in, you could. Here you're basically almost stuck with like a quick 50 or something, and that is it. Obviously, you can adjust your zoom with your feet, but damn, $1,200. I don't get it. But anyways, I want to know your thoughts on this because I think it's interesting. I do hope that point and shoots hang in there. I know in the last video that I did, I said, point and shoots are just having a hard time, especially with the camera phones becoming so good. They're getting better and better and better. Obviously, there's still, a little tiny sensor inside the camera phone. Tiny, tiny, tiny sensor. So as soon as you start zooming in at all, or if it gets a little bit dark out, or if you have let's say if you want to do a print, the pixels just simply don't hold up. You and I both know it. They look like trash. Sometimes you'll go back to a picture like, God, this thing looks just awesome. And then you print it, you're like, oh God, what a hot ass mess, right? That's just how it is. So I really would like to see point and shoots hang in there, but the point and shoots need to be 400, 500, 600 max. I can't see this camera coming out at $1,200 and them selling more than a handful of them. I just don't see it. But once again, what are your thoughts? Is this something that you would upgrade to if you have a GR3? I sure as hell hope not. My suggestion to you is if you have a GR3, get one of those lenses that you can kind of snap onto the front of it to convert it from a 40 to like a 28, and now you have the same camera. Shh, don't tell them. Don't tell them, right? That's my little tip, pro tip to you. Yeah. Anyways, once again, in the comment area, put your thoughts. I want to hear them. If you enjoyed this content even a little bit, throw it a thumbs up. That would be very helpful for the YouTube algorithm to shine its glorious light upon the channel and on this video. That would be helpful. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Listen, we got 600. I think over 600 now videos. A lot of them are evergreen. There's a lot of content on here we made over the years. Go check it out and subscribe. And also click this little button here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. Also, if you want to contribute to the channel, you can do so using this link through PayPal here, or you can click down here that it says join. You join the channel, you become a member. I can give you perks for doing so. We're all happy. Or you can click down here where it says thanks and it has a little $sign. YouTube just gave that to us. Basically, you could contribute to the channel using that thanks button, and supposedly the lion's share or the majority of that money will come to the creative like myself. So you can give that a shot also if you so desire. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.